Just wanted to talk about it really quick live so that I can help you answer any of the things that you think are going to be going on in the real estate world because a lot of people have lots of questions. In fact, what we did today was we did a town hall meeting, and I'm going to do a video on all the major points that were put out at the town hall meeting because the stuff is the information, the attorney gets on with all the questions and answers that people wrote ahead of time. But then as we're doing the questions and answers, more people are having more questions and answers. So as it keeps going and things keep building up on the NAR lawsuit, we're going to go ahead and keep bringing information to you. So I just wanted to bring that on so that if you have questions, you can put them in my chat and I will actually ask the attorney that's working with us. I don't know why my eyes look like they're so bloodshot, but due to that effect, I'm just going to let you guys know we're going to keep it going. We're going to make sure that you have the information you need. So stay tuned. Oh gosh, Ellie, I was going to just about shut off because nobody was on because I'm looking at my eyes and I'm like, what happened, right? Hey, do you have any questions? Do you have your real estate license yet? I know you've been with me for quite a while. And there's a second person on, but I don't know who it is. Are you a current student or a returning student? So I was just coming on to let you guys know that we had a town hall that was amazing. And what we did was we allowed real estate agents on my way to a showing. Yes, Arlene's going to a showing. What about the other one? Did you put an offer in on it? Arlene's like, I'm leaning back, which looks kind of icky. But anyway, it says not yet. She's too busy. Family night. Oh, I gotcha. Well, you got to get it done. Did you take the test yet? Because these are things that you need to do. But what's kind of cool is the people that are learning right now. I'm going to adjust this. I know I don't want to be adjusting things when I'm already on, but it just looks so terrible. I hate when things look terrible. It's like I tried it there. That's a little bit better, but now I got to hold it. It says, I have 3 kids, a family, and a part-time job. Oh my God. You're like all of us. But you know what? It's so interesting because a lot of us say that. We're like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm taking care of my 92-year-old mom and I'm trying to take care of all the bills and everything that, was left behind when my brother passed away unannounced. And, everybody's just busy doing their own thing. And unfortunately, if you stay busy doing your own thing, you might not get that opportunity that you want. Like, today, I had to go to the bank, and after I went to the bank, I stopped in TJ Maxx to get a headband, and I was only looking for a particular headband, and look what I found. Look, it has this color and the rhinestones, which matches exactly my shirt. Isn't that pretty cool? So, and guess what? I met this really cool lady, and yesterday I went shopping for business too. So what I do is I love TJ Maxx, I love Marshalls, I love Ross, I love all those stores. And I go shopping to meet people because you're not going to meet people sitting in your house doing nothing. And, I don't purposely pick out people. Today, the lady she's a healer and a yoga instructor, and she's really cool. And she was helping me find pink pants to match my pink nails because I have a pink jacket that I want to see if it matches. And so I matched the nails to the jacket so that I could shop for the pants. How about that? I thought that was pretty smart. But that's how I met some people. So meeting people and making sure that you stay in contact with the outside world and update them on everything that's happening is going to show that you're current on the news. So one of the things, the reason I just came on YouTube right now is I was on Instagram. Oh my God, you have twins? Are you out of control? 6 months old daughter, aw, and 6-month-old son. That is so cool. You had a daughter and a son, twins? That's awesome. Because you know what? They're not going to argue about who was first. I'll tell you that. That's a good thing. God, you're really busy with twins, right? But anyway, I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys really quick and let you know that we are going to stay current. And when I was on Instagram, people were asking me lots of questions. So what I want you guys to do is start thinking of the questions. I also have a 4-year-old son. Are you out of control or what? That's insane, young lady. Well, this is what you can do. Well, Allie, wait, come back here. It's like you left. It's not that you left. It's just you faded out and I didn't see. Did you took our class, didn't you? Our real estate exam prep class? Are you there? You're still there? Because if you took our real estate exam prep already, then did you take the test yet? Is my question. Because the test isn't as hard as it is tricky. Because it is a little bit tricky. But the thing is the people who haven't been practicing real estate yet, they're really not going to be affected that much because you're going to be taught by your broker and your sales manager. It says, I'm trying to get in my classes. Oh, the 3 classes. Oh, you're the Arkansas person. Okay, so you work on the 3 classes. I'll work on the Arkansas test. And then by the time you're ready to take the exam prep, it'll be perfect for Arkansas and you can take our class. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to see the differences between the different states and the differences between the California exam and the national exam. Because what I'm seeing as I'm studying through the national exam paperwork is a lot of the national exam stuff is the same kind of stuff that's on the California exam. And what I was told originally was that California was the most difficult exam. But what I learned, how about that? I feel and thought that California was the hardest real estate exam that you had to take out there. I'm stuttering. But as I started researching it more, because I'm getting ready to find out about Georgia and Texas, was that I learned that Texas and Colorado are the hardest ones, I'm told, to pass. And I've had people from Colorado just watch my videos and pass the state exam. So it says, I'm excited to do real estate. My best friend is a real estate agent in Missouri. I feel bad that she's in Missouri because that's the state that had a handful of buyers and one attorney, and they got together and they started this whole messy class action lawsuit. And if you really know how it went down, it really wasn't very fair because we're being blamed for stuff that we don't do. One of the main thing, and everybody knows this, it's in the news, is it's an antitrust issue. An antitrust issue saying that we fix the price. We price fix. Okay, we do not price fix in any way, shape, or form. Commissions have always been negotiable. From day one, commissions have been negotiable. And I will tell you, there's an agent down the street and around the corner. What can I get policies involved if a buyer scams a realtor? There's a lot. Oh, I have a great story to tell you about a buyer who scammed one of my realtors. And I don't know if she's online right now. You can't call the police. So that's the other reason that it's so, not the cops either. It's so important to have your buyer's agreement, because let me stick to the other thing I was talking about, which I totally forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about the lawsuit, and the thing is, a handful of people changed a bunch of people's lives and made it much more difficult for us to help people. Not only that, what this lawsuit's going to do is this lawsuit's going to make it so first-time home buyers, FHA buyers, and VA buyers are not going to be able to buy if they don't fix what they just broke, because they really didn't give it a fair chance. It was a he said, she said with a handful of buyers, is from what I understand. And if I'm wrong, please let me know. But the Orange County Register quoted that they're all going to get about $18. And the people making the most money is the attorneys, as usual. So if I will keep that article, if I don't get to keep it because somebody gave me the magazine, I will actually go ahead and copy it on my phone. And if anybody wants to see it, I'll see how I can copy it. Hopefully it'll come out clear. But the thing is if you learn, first of all, they're saying that, oh, I was on the price fixing thing when you popped up and said something that I wanted to share with you. But the price fixing thing, look at, number one, there's an agent down the street and around the corner that works for 4%. Lots of agents work for 3.5%. Some of them work for 5% and they give half of it to the other side. There's a thing called help you sell, and help you sell isn't price fixed. So when you take all these people that in real estate do all different things, how could they say we all price fix? It makes zero sense how the lawsuit went down. And so to prove them wrong, I guess, I don't know, but Berkshire Hathaway has decided not to be in the lawsuit. Well, I don't know if they haven't, but it's not that they didn't decide to be in it. Let me explain something really quick. So basically with the lawsuit, all members, so I did say all members, hi, how you doing? All members of NAR, National Association of Realtors, all members have decided, have been included. Now, what they did do, because they knew they could get more money, was they extracted the huge companies that making a lot of money. So the big companies, but they're not going after they're going after like EXP and the big huge companies. They're not going after the realtors and the agents. What they're going after is they're going after the owner brokers. Okay. And that's because they know they can afford it. No other reason but the money. How expensive are houses in real estate in California? You want to know what they are in California? It depends. If you go out to the middle of the desert in a place called Apple Valley, you could probably get a house for $250,000, maybe $300,000. If you go to the ocean, you're going to pay 2.5 to 3.5 or more. So it's anywhere depending on where you're at. So there's a lot of really great cities that are affordable here in California. So you're asking some really good questions. So with all of that said, one of the things you asked me is, do you get scammed by buyers sometimes? Absolutely. Well, we're looking to move to Kansas. Kansas City, Missouri. No, Missouri's actually affordable. I'll tell you, you're asking me questions that I actually know. It's kind of scary that I know all this stuff, huh? So Missouri, I was going to Missouri. I actually went to Missouri for a film festival. And I was on the plane. I was talking to this lady, and she was really cool. And we were talking about the prices of real estate. And she thought it was cool that I knew what was going on in most cities and states all around the place. And I said, I have to. It's my job. Because what I want to do is I want to help people and refer them to the right agents when they're relocating. So, like, if I know somebody in Kansas City, Missouri, I can say, hey, this is the person I know is good. So, with all that said, it says, I'm originally from Arizona. Wow, you move around a lot. You're gutsy. With all those kids, once they get settled, you don't really want to move them again. So I'll tell you what she said to me. Now, I went to, when did I go to Missouri? It was when I was traveling for my film. So that was probably 2000. It was last year or the year before. So it wasn't that long ago. So I asked her, I said, how much are homes in Missouri? And she said, my parents sold their home in Oregon. And the house in Oregon, she said, the house in Oregon that was $1.5 million, she could get it in Missouri for $500,000. So her parents sold their house in Oregon that was $1.5 million. They bought a home on 5 acres with a guest house. And the house was like 3,500 square feet. And I think she said they paid $450,000. That's pretty darn good, huh? So anyway, it's been a long week. I look like heck because I'm tired and I've been in meeting after meeting. So currently I am the president of my association. And because of this lawsuit thing, I have to be in all the meetings to hear what they're saying so that I can share with my members so that they're constantly kept up to date on what's going on. But anyway, what I was saying about the lawsuit, that's public knowledge, that's in the news, and this part's true. Berkshire Hathaway did not join the lawsuit. You're very welcome. Did not join the lawsuit. And I think it's because, well, it's owned by Warren Buffett. He can afford to fight. But here's the deal. We really didn't do anything wrong. It's just that settling's better than spending more money. And because, I just settled a case where, I hate to say these words, but I sued one of my agents. And I just got the lawsuit finished and he paid me off, but I didn't sue him for a whole bunch. I kind of just sued him to make sure that he understood he was wrong. And I made him pay me back the cost that he cost me in fees, because what he did cost me fines and fees. And so I made him pay me back. Now, you did ask a question. I'm sorry, I keep bumping the phone. You did ask a question. Even though I'm tired, my eyes look terrible, I'm going to answer it for you. You asked, what can you get a realtor arrested for? How about you could get, you're asking really good questions. Thank you for your time in updating us on the date news. Oh, you're so sweet. But she's asking other questions too, which is interesting. So the first question you asked me, I'm going to answer your both questions. Remind me if I missed the last one, what you can get arrested for. The first one you asked me is, has a buyer ever that I know of, basically a buyer screw, pardon my French, I guess I'm not supposed to say bad words, a real estate agent all the time. So you guys have to be really careful, not only safety wise, but you also have to be careful. Now with the buyer's agreement, this is going to be much better. And it's not going to be, I'm going to review my notes and do a nice clean video for you guys. But It's not going to be a national buyer's agreement. What they're going to do is they're going to take the current buyer's agreement. So a lot of states have their own buyer's agreement, and California probably has one of the best ones. So what we're going to do, not me, but what the associations, the National Association is going to do, is they're asking all the states to submit their buyer agreement. And they're going to take all of them and they're going to review them and they're going to see what the important parts are and what the, what's the most important thing. They're not going to make one general buyer's agreement because the different states have different laws. So they have to have different buyer's agreements for each state. But they're going to make sure that they all have what needs to be in there so that the lawsuit is settled and we do everything that it says we're going to do in the settlement. Because the settlement's not just the money. The settlement's also things that we will and will not do as realtors, as members of the National Association of Realtors. Okay. So that's the buyer broker agreement thing. The next question was people messing with you as a real estate agent. The worst one I've heard of, and her kids are out doing a campaign. Her kids have been doing a campaign since she was murdered. It was a real estate agent that tried to be safe, tried to protect herself. And this appeared to be a husband and wife, met her at a house, and they were going to rob her. They were going to take her shoes because she wears really expensive shoes. She was a pretty successful real estate agent with an expensive purse, expensive shoes. And she didn't carry a stun gun and she didn't carry mace or anything. And she didn't really expect anybody to do what they did. But what they did was they met her at the house and they tried to rob her. And when she fought back, I don't know if they accidentally or they didn't plan on it on purpose. They planned on purpose to rob her, but instead of robbing her, they did kill her. And so you have to be safe. You have to know what you're doing. And that's why I always say the best thing to do is make sure you have a full pre-approval on their loan. Because if you have a full pre-approval on their loan, you know everything about them. And their loan officer has all their information from their head to their toe. So if they do anything to you, they're definitely going to jail. So with that said, it's not just smart to have your buyer pre-approved, completely pre-approved, but it's safe to have your buyer completely pre-approved. So I got a story. I know you guys all love my story, so I'll tell a story and then I'm getting off the YouTube because my eyes look terrible. I'm super exhausted and need to get going. So somebody asked, what happens if a person has bad credit? Can real estate agents help them? If you have somebody who you have really good questions. If you have somebody who has really bad credit, most likely it depends on how bad it is. It says illegal to demand they be pre-approved. Is it illegal? No, it's not illegal to demand that they be pre-approved, but you're not really demanding it. What you're doing is that's the first step they need to do because, God, you guys are making me go into too many stories. Let me do the story about, now I forgot what's doing the story about. Oh, I know. Has a buyer ever done something really horrible to one of my agents? Yeah. And we're filing a lawsuit against her right now. So what she did was we can't use any names and we can't tell you who anybody was. I can just tell you the story because I can change names or whatever because we are suing her. You got to watch out for these people. But with the buyer broker agreement, there's no way on God's green earth that they're going to be able to do the things that they were doing. So this one young lady, what she did was she explained to the real estate agent everything she wanted. And this real estate agent was really good. And for over a year and a half, she showed them many homes. And she wrote up approximately 19 offers, probably more than that, during the span of a year and a half to help these people find their forever home. And then she found their forever home. And this is the worst I've ever heard of it being. She purchased a home. They were in escrow. And when they were there negotiating the request for repairs, which, by the way, you guys need to know, the request for repairs is not part of the contract. It doesn't say you have to do repairs inside the contract. So request for repairs is just requesting. And if the seller wants to do them, they'll do them. If not, they won't. So in fact, the listing agent does not even have to answer a request for repairs. I had an agent on a request for repairs. I said, we're not going to do any repairs. And she said, well, you have to put it in writing. I go, it's not part of the contract. I don't. And so she kept saying that. So then she did a notice to perform on a request for repairs. I'm like, where did this girl get her license and what classes did she take? But anyway, the person that really hurt my girl, she spent a lot of time and effort over a year and a half, writing offers. In fact, they ended up getting 3 or 4 deals in escrow. And this couple kept backing out after they did the request for repairs. Well, what ended up happening, well, because she had this pattern of doing this to this agent, on the very last one, she, they got into escrow and she wanted something like, there was $20,000 worth of repairs she wanted. And the seller came back and said, well, I'll do 10, I'll meet you halfway. And she said, well, no, I don't want the house then. So she backed out of escrow. Okay. Are you ready for what she did? Are you ready? Are you sitting down? This is what people will do to you. And you want to go back to them and say, really, how would you feel if you went to work every day for a year and a half and you did everything you could for somebody and they turned around and said, well, you know what? I know I had a contract that I was going to pay you. And that's what we talked about, but now I'm not going to pay you. Because what she did was she canceled out of escrow. She had a straw buyer buy the house. And 2 weeks later, she bought the house from the straw buyer. So why do people treat people like that? It may be shrewd business work, but it's illegal. Straw buyers are illegal. And the whole thing that she did was just wrong in so many ways. So you asked me another question. I forgot what that new question was. The credit question. You can help people fix their credit. It's best. I got to tell you, realtors do. People think we don't do anything, like we're sitting around all day doing nothing. Okay, there's over 300 things that buyers agents and sellers agents do, and there's a list of them on Tri County's website. So it's trico.com, I believe, tri-co, or Tri Counties Association of Realtors. There's actually a list of everything we do for our clients. Can you go to jail as a realtor? Yes, you could, but you might want to text me that one or DM me direct, because some of them are pretty crazy things that people do and get in trouble for and can be arrested in a home, or because they're a realtor, depending on what they did. One of the main things is misrepresentation. It's discipline, civil and criminal. And when you say discipline, what did you do and what's the problem that you did? Let me tell you something. If someone ever tries to scam me, I can get them. I didn't see the rest of it. I think it'll pop. Will it pop up again? I don't know. But you put it in the remarks so I can see it. So anyways, I think I answered all your questions. I had been planning on being on here for just a few minutes because my eyes need some eye drops and some stuff because I look scary. But it's only Thursday and has been a crazy week of meetings and making sure that we're updating everybody. But if you guys have a chance, please, please, please go to Realtor Tried to Scam My Parents. Really, they can go to jail for that. In fact, you know what? You keep bringing up really good stuff. My brother had a guy that was a realtor and a loan officer, and he forced people to sign loan docs that couldn't afford to pay the payments. So they didn't move in and they didn't buy the property. They just went, okay, we'll sign the docs, but we're never going to move in because we can't afford it. So when the buyers didn't move in, the loan company went to check it out and found out, well, they didn't move in ever. And it was that realtor, and that realtor had pretty much a history of forcing everybody to sign their loan docs, even though they didn't want to. He ended up in jail for 14 years. So you got to know what you're supposed to do, and you got to do what's right. And that's the best thing you can do. So if you guys have any questions for me, feel free always to put them in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I see them in the comments. And for now, we'll see you later. Thank you for following me. Thank you for sharing. You're definitely very, very welcome. You can always put it in my messages or in the chat area of the comments, and I will definitely get back to you. But please, please share all my information, because it's good information for everybody who's a buyer, a seller, or a real estate agent. Have an amazing Easter, and don't eat too much. Bye.